In a groundbreaking revelation by The Intercept, a small cadre of volunteers from Israel's tech sector, led by Danny Kaganovich, a Google software engineer, has been covertly working to erase certain narratives from popular platforms like Facebook and TikTok. Dubbed Iron Truth, this initiative, named to echo the Israeli military's Iron Dome, is more than just a metaphorical shield against misinformation. It represents a disturbing trend where personal connections within big tech are exploited to silence voices and suppress certain viewpoints. Kaganovich, motivated by a disturbing Facebook video following the October 7th Hamas attack, leveraged his industry contacts to orchestrate the removal of content he deemed false or harmful. The criteria? Anything tagged as false, anti-Semitic, or pro-terrorist. Thousands of posts already vanished from platforms like YouTube and TikTok. This initiative raises an alarm. It's a chilling reminder of how the battle for public opinion is being waged not just in physical conflict zones, but within the digital realms where global narratives are shaped. What does this mean for freedom of speech? And where do we draw the line between combating disinformation and suppressing legitimate expression? As we delve deeper into the workings of Iron Truth, the extent of its influence becomes increasingly apparent. And so do the concerns it raises about the integrity of our online spaces. With nearly 2,000 participants actively flagging content, the scope of Iron Truth's influence is broad. What's concerning is not just the removal of overtly racist or blatantly false content, but also the suppression of posts that simply critique Israel or show sympathy towards Palestinians. This initiative, according to The Intercept's detailed investigation, seems to blur the lines between fighting disinformation and stifling free speech. Kaganovich's approach reflects a broader and more troubling trend in online content moderation. Expert Emerson Brooking from the Atlantic Council's Digital Forensic Research Lab points out a critical issue. The objectives of such groups, especially in conflict situations, often align with one side. Their aim isn't to foster a balanced online environment free from disinformation, but to target and remove content that they perceive as harmful to their cause. The Intercept's investigation highlights how Iron Truth has at times conflated legitimate criticism of Israeli policies with misinformation or anti-Semitism. Even Kaganovich admits that his perspective has evolved, acknowledging that in the war's early days, almost any anti-Israel sentiment was seen as false. Iron Truth's reliance on insiders within big tech companies to remove content raises serious questions about the objectivity and transparency of content moderation. These insiders, according to Kaganovich, are not policy team members, but have direct access to them, a revelation that challenges the official routes of content governance. The group's Telegram channel often credits these insiders for their role in this content removal crusade. This includes thanking the TikTok Israel team, liaising with senior managers at Facebook, and even collaborating with LinkedIn to remove a significant portion of reported content. This story is more than just about a group's fight against misinformation. It's a window into how the power to shape public opinion and suppress certain narratives can be wielded in the shadows of our most popular digital platforms. As we continue to explore the intricate workings of Iron Truth, it becomes clear that this project extends beyond a few tech insiders. Its connections and implications reach into broader and more complex realms. Inbar Bezek, a former member of the Israeli parliament, is among those rallying behind Iron Truth. She elucidates their mission to prompt tech companies to distinguish between genuine free speech and content aimed solely at harming Israel or exacerbating the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Kaganovich reveals that Iron Truth isn't just a small volunteer initiative. It's a well-organized effort, including volunteers, programmers, and even liaising with the director of a controversial Israeli government cyber unit. Google, where Kaganovich is employed, maintains a neutral stance. Krista Muldoon, a spokesperson for Google, emphasizes their commitment to preventing abuse and harmful content across their products, insisting on a consistent and unbiased enforcement of their policies. On the other side, Meta's spokesperson, Ryan Daniels, refutes the notion that Iron Truth has any sway over content moderation on their platforms. He asserts that content claimed to have been removed by the group still remains visible as it doesn't violate Meta's policies. Both Google and Meta encourage their employees to volunteer for causes they care about, highlighting that content moderation is governed by public community standards, not individual beliefs or affiliations. This development raises critical questions about the balance between combating disinformation and maintaining a fair and open digital arena. It's a delicate line between safeguarding communities and inadvertently silencing important voices. As the digital landscape continues to evolve, so does the debate on content moderation and freedom of speech. While TikTok and LinkedIn didn't comment on their involvement with Iron Truth and X remained unreachable, the narrative around this initiative continues to unfold. The conversation about who holds the power to shape our digital narratives and the ethics behind it is more relevant than ever. In our ongoing examination of the Iron Truth project, we now turn to a more contentious aspect of their operations: the fine line between combating disinformation and potentially stifling legitimate debate during armed conflict. In the immediate aftermath of the Hamas attack, Iron Truth mobilized to counter what they perceived as anti-Israeli disinformation. This included targeting posts skeptical about certain claims made during the conflict, such as the alleged mass decapitation of babies in an Israeli kibbutz. Posts questioning these claims were swiftly tagged as fake news and disinformation by Iron Truth volunteers and submitted for removal on various platforms. A notable example was a LinkedIn post demanding evidence for the beheaded baby claim, categorized as terror fake by the group. However, skepticism about these claims was later validated. The Israeli government itself could not verify the horrific allegation regarding beheaded babies. Similarly, Iron Truth's early efforts to remove content about Israel bombing hospitals contrast with subsequent well-documented airstrikes on medical facilities and the tragic loss of hundreds of medical professionals. Iron Truth's aggressive stance is encapsulated in a Telegram post where they celebrate content removal with the phrase, "keep bombing." This phrase, while likely metaphorical, underscores the aggressive approach to content moderation during a highly sensitive and polarized situation. Among the content Iron Truth claimed to have removed were videos depicting wounded Palestinians, including children, in hospitals, and posts by social media personalities challenging the narrative of the Hamas attack. While these posts are contentious, Meta's internal policies reportedly allow for such discussions, echoing the broader debate on what constitutes permissible speech in the context of armed conflict. This aspect of the Iron Truth story highlights a fundamental dilemma in the digital age, balancing the fight against misinformation with the need to protect robust, albeit challenging discussions, especially during times of conflict. As we navigate these uncharted waters, the questions of who decides what constitutes truth and the implications of these decisions for free expression become ever more critical. While Meta's spokesperson, Ryan Daniels, acknowledges that posts can be reinstated after removal, he disputes Iron Truth's claims about influencing content moderation. Daniels confirms that some content was removed for violating Meta's policies, but emphasizes the platform's commitment to not censoring controversial views. Officially, the major social platforms like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube have policies in place that prohibit misinformation only when it could cause physical harm or disrupt civic processes such as elections. They don't, however, typically ban merely inflammatory speech. Yet, the enforcement of these content moderation rules is often inconsistent and ambiguous. Meta, for example, claims to rigorously prohibit violent incitement. However, recent reports, including one from The Intercept, highlight significant lapses, such as the approval of ads calling for violence against Palestinian rights advocates and the mysterious disappearance of comments featuring Palestinian flag emojis. 7amle, a Palestinian digital rights group, has documented over 800 instances of what it considers unjust social media censorship since the onset of the conflict. These examples point to a broader issue of how content moderation, despite being guided by stated policies, often operates in a gray area, leading to arbitrary or biased decisions. This deep dive into Iron Truth and its activities sheds light on the complex interplay between combating disinformation and safeguarding free speech. It underscores the challenges facing major tech platforms in moderating content, especially in politically charged contexts. As we navigate the digital age, the responsibility of platforms in balancing these aspects becomes increasingly critical. The debate on digital freedom, truth, and censorship continues, with implications for the very nature of discourse in our interconnected world. Dani Kaganovich, the mind behind Iron Truth, admits to the inherent difficulties in identifying disinformation. He points out that today's conspiracy could be tomorrow's corroborated fact, referencing a Haaretz report about a tragic incident involving the Israel Defense Forces. Iron Truth's strategy involved providing volunteers with a list of keywords to identify potential disinformation. While some of these terms like kill Jewish or kill Israelis clearly fall under the violation of social media rules against violent incitement, others are more contentious. The list included terms that are often part of legitimate news coverage or discussions about the conflict, such as Israel bomb hospital or Israel committing genocide. These phrases, especially during the intense bombardment of Gaza, were part of the broader narrative and critical analysis of the war. Iron Truth's approach to labeling contested claims as fake news raises important questions about the role of analysis and discussion in reaching the truth. Particularly in war, where facts are often disputed, the ability to freely discuss and analyze events is crucial. This exploration of Iron Truth and its implications brings us to a pivotal point in our understanding of disinformation. It highlights the fine line between combating misinformation and inadvertently suppressing essential dialogue in times of conflict. As we continue our in-depth look at Iron Truth, we now explore the challenges and controversies surrounding the group's operations and its impact on the broader conversation about disinformation and censorship. Kaganovich, the founder of Iron Truth, concedes the difficulty in pinpointing disinformation, acknowledging that perspectives on what constitutes a conspiracy or truth can shift rapidly in the fluid context of war. Iron Truth's activities extend beyond social media content to apps and fundraising efforts. For example, they targeted an app designed to boycott companies related to Israel and fundraising efforts for Gaza. indicating a broader approach to what they consider harmful content. Interestingly, Kaganovich admits his views have evolved, particularly around the topic of genocide allegations against Israel. He initially reported such content, but later ceased, recognizing the complexity of perceptions in conflict situations. Iron Truth's operations highlight a significant challenge in content moderation, distinguishing between valid criticism, advocacy, and what they deem as misinformation. The group's volunteers have at times conflated Palestinian advocacy with support for Hamas, illustrating the difficulty in moderating content in politically charged contexts. This investigation into Iron Truth sheds light on the intricate dynamics of online discourse in times of conflict. It raises critical questions about the role and responsibilities of those who seek to moderate digital spaces and the potential consequences of their actions on free speech and public debate. Iron Truth, a product of Israel's tech-savvy economy, also boasts support from Israeli government entities. This includes interactions with Chaim Wizmonsky, the director of Israel's cyber unit, known for its extensive content takedown demands. Critics argue this unit has been used to suppress criticism and Palestinian perspectives. Kaganovich reveals that following a presentation to the cyber unit, Iron Truth has continued to communicate with them, even forwarding links for removal assistance. This raises questions about the intertwining of private volunteer initiatives with government objectives in online content control. Bezek, a former Knesset member involved with Iron Truth, plays a key role in these government interactions. She focuses on legislative and legal connections, further blurring the lines between private initiatives and state interests in content moderation. Bezek's efforts extend to organizing meetings with Israel's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and European diplomats, discussing allegations of state-sponsored anti-Semitic and anti-Israeli campaigns. This international dimension adds complexity to the role of Iron Truth in the global discourse around misinformation. Additionally, Iron Truth's collaboration with Digital Dome, another volunteer effort against disinformation, reflects a growing trend of nationalistic counter-misinformation efforts. These initiatives are often supported by entities like J Ventures, linking them to broader national interests. This deep dive into Iron Truth reveals a multifaceted landscape where private initiatives, government entities, and international politics converge in the arena of digital content moderation. It underscores the challenges in maintaining a balanced and open online environment, especially in politically sensitive contexts. As we conclude, it's clear that the conversation around disinformation, freedom of speech, and the role of technology in shaping public opinion is more crucial than ever. The story of Iron Truth is a powerful reminder of the complexities involved in navigating these waters. In a world where the waves of disinformation challenge the shores of free speech, our vigilance in understanding the role of technology in shaping our perceptions is paramount. The Iron Truth narrative serves as a compelling beacon, illuminating the intricate and often turbulent seas of information we navigate daily. Stay alert, stay informed, and let's continue to steer our discourse towards a horizon of truth and transparency. Our channel is dedicated to bringing you in-depth analyses, insightful discussions, and comprehensive reports on the issues that shape our world and impact our lives. Click the subscribe button now, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated on our latest content. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to having you with us on this journey of discovery and understanding.